Well, welcome to Training Tuesday, everybody, and thanks for joining us for our webinar today. Appreciate you taking the time to come and listen. My name is Heidi Reese, and I am the Training Programs Manager here at Dayton Superior, and I would like to just go over a couple small items like I usually do in the beginning. Wanted to remind you that all of you have been muted so that we can enjoy the presentation without dogs barking and airlines and all that kind of stuff. And also for the recording, we record every one of these and post them out on our YouTube channels as well as DaytonSuperior.com. And you can watch them later, or you can forward them on to someone who might be able to, get something out of it, something exciting for them. In addition, we do this every week. We have different topics and different people, so register for the next one. Next week, we're going to be doing infrastructure, bridge, and roadways. So today's presentation is intended for training purposes only, but you can find all of the technical and safety data sheets, product information mentioned in today's training on DaytonSuperior.com. For those of you who may not know who Dayton Superior is, or maybe you know a little bit about what we do, we are the leading provider of engineered solutions for concrete construction industry. Not only do we do commercial, we do small range commercial as well as some residential. Today, we're going to be talking about product estimation tools, but we do all kinds of things, whether they are accessories for tilt-up, precast, rebar splicing. We also have chemicals, forming and shoring, engineering, like we're going to talk about today, and training as you're going through a piece of it. We have more training abilities for you if you want to sign up for something more customized, a little bit longer to get more in-depth. Please contact us. We'll have some of that at the very end on a resource page for you to be able to contact me, and we'll set something up with Chuck or other many product engineers and experts. In addition to the specializing in all of that, Simon's Forming and Shoring portfolio, we have systems that are adaptable, strong, and save labor costs. We have concrete repair and restoration products that are specifically formulated to meet the design specifications in both new and retrofit repair needs for construction. So today, like I said, we're going to be talking about Dayton Superior's estimating technology, basically product estimations and an introduction to Slab-Werks. And with us today is Shane Walters. I like to call him Mr. Tilt-Werks. I'm sure that he hates when I say that, but he really is. He's the director of Tilt-Up Engineering and Tilt-Werks, and he is a plethora of knowledge on all of these topics. He has worked as a structural engineer for over 20 plus years, as well as a licensed professional engineer since 2003. So he's worked on the design, the project coordination and development of computer-based design tools, such as tilt-up construction industry, such as Tilt-Werks, I should say. He is a TCA board member, and he's co-authored articles on the design of multi-story tilt-up buildings. So let's welcome Shane as he teaches us about the importance of product estimations and how Dayton Superior can help you provide the solutions to accomplish this. Shane?
We're going to talk about general engineering and estimations for tilt-up projects, specifically Slab-Werks. First off, we'll just get right into the standard design process for a typical tilt-up project. Our normal project flow is, it goes from the architect to the structural engineer, kind of flows downhill. It's a very linear process. Doesn't lend itself to, someone further down the line or someone further up the line being able to offer some input at the beginning or the middle of the process. And then same thing when you're sending things back. So, it goes from architect, engineer, works its way down to the material provider, us here at Dayton Superior. And then any RFIs or any revisions, we now send all of that backwards. You're going back and forth on a very linear process, which is making it very hard for you to get input on the job at an earlier stage. And you have change orders and revisions getting communicated stakeholder to stakeholder. And that could lend itself to making it such that you have an extended project time to completion. Why estimate? And we'll go back to that linear process later on. We'll explain how Tilt-Werks can help with that. But why would you do an estimate? Right now, everyone does estimates. For the most part, they'll have a spreadsheet that they've developed over the years or something along those lines, some rules of thumbs that they use to go out and bid a job. which, way back when, that was a good way to get things done, a good way to get the job really quick. But with advances in technology, with schedules and timelines and budgets being what they are, everything's being tight and compressed, you want that extra edge. And that's where having a more accurate BOM and having an accurate takeoff system will come into play. So being able to understand what you need for the project at an earlier stage and being able to get a more accurate count of that is very critical to the difference between getting a job and not getting a job. Sometimes it comes down to just a few dollars or a few line items. That's where using something like the Tilt-Werks estimation tool or web page or Slab-Werks will come in handy and help you. It makes it very easy to go through and select projects, very easy for purchasing. And as you'll see, we have a bunch of different methods. We have a free online estimation tool. We also have Tilt-Werks and Slab-Werks, which are a lot more accurate and gives you more precise takeoffs. And there's different levels of that. You can do it yourself as a user of Tilt-Werks. You could potentially send it into our folks here at Dayton Superior for them to take care of it as well. And it helps with getting your job to come in cheaper and come in, on time. So first thing, we have our online estimation tool. Everyone has access to it. You just go out to our webpage. You can sign up. You click there, get the estimation tool. You fill in some really basic information, and you automatically have access to it. Now, to create your bid info, simple inputs: panel height, panel width, panel thickness, where's the job going, some really basic stuff, so that way you don't have to worry about punching in wind speeds and figuring out all the exact loading. A lot of this can be done just by knowing the basic geometry of your panel or that you're getting ready to work on. So anyone can do it. Anyone in your office can do it. Anyone out in the field can do it. With it being online, you can access it at any time. And then when you're done, you get a nice report. And especially with our tool, you actually get to save your previous projects. So let's say you worked on a project last week and they're coming up with building 2 or building 3, or even if it's a year or so down the road and it's a similar project, you can always go back and pull up that old project. That's partly why we have you register, and it makes it even quicker for you to go through and get those estimates. And you can see here on this screenshot we have of the web page, it'll give you our particular braces, a count of our lift inserts, and it'll even go as far as giving you the chemicals you need, the curing and the bond breaker for the panels. And you can edit that information at any time in real time. When you're done, you get a nice takeoff that you can actually hand over to your distributor, your salesman, whoever you're working with, that will give you chemical names, product numbers, the accessories you're going to need, what size braces, what size inserts, all the panel information and quantities, so you can do back checks if you want in a nice PDF format that you can just submit in with your bid. The other avenue is using the Tilt-Werks design software. It's online, a little bit more detail, but not that much more. It's a total design package. It gives you all the information you need for your tilt-up panels. It gives you panel embeds, gives you quantity of rebar, quantity of concrete, gives you shop drawings, lifting and bracing engineering. One good thing with it as well, it ties into the system that we use internally here at Dayton Superior. So we actually do have some Tilt-Werks subscribers who build their own models, and when they're done and they're ready to get the lifting and bracing done, they'll share the project with us, and our in-house engineers can then pick the ball up from there and start running with it and get the design done a lot quicker than having to dig through architecturals and structurals or panel shops. So that's one of the big benefits to using the software. It's that nice interface with Dayton Superior where you can get some answers a lot quicker. From a contractor standpoint, that's a really good thing for when you need to know, hey, am I going to need strong backs? Is the original engineering okay with the reinforcing in there, or am I going to need more because this panel looks like it's kind of thin or it's kind of tall or real complicated? You could reach out to us and say, hey, can you take a look? The engineer did it in Tilt-Werks. Can you go ahead and take a quick look at that? So being able to have that kind of powers is really good to shorten up the time you're spending working with your jobs. getting those reinforcing drawings, the placing drawings, shop drawings, all of those come out automatic just from a little bit of input. So benefits of using Tilt-Werks. Like I mentioned earlier, everything's a linear process right now. But with Tilt-Werks, your designer and architect, your structural engineer, the contractor, the fabricator, the material provider, they can all be communicating at once. So your architect goes in, he can use Revit to export his Revit model in the Tilt-Werks. His part's done. The structural engineer can jump in at that point and start doing the design. The contractor may go, hey, can you tell me what my panel weights are right now so I can figure out what I need for my size of crane? The engineer could say, sure, I can pull that up for you really quick. The fabricator may go, can you give me some quick information on the drawings? You could send those over. Now, all of that can happen in real time, back and forth. Now, another benefit, being able to move it back and forth between AutoCAD and Revit and the 3D models. Those come in and out really easy with our interface we have with Revit and the fact that we can export out IFC files. You get full material quantity takeoffs. You can define your costs. So there is an option there where you can go in and put in your material and labor costs for all your parts and pieces for everything that goes with the tilt-up walls and be able to get a report out that lists all of that. And again, the 3D modeling capability, being able to get to those drawings, being able to pull up paper dolls so you can do your casting layouts, all of those are extra benefits just by doing a little bit of input. So, estimation, which is what we came to talk about. Slab-Werks, what is it? What does it do? It's a companion tool that we built into Tilt-Werks to give you a quick estimate for all the products you're going to need to build that slab out on your tilt-up site or your precast site or any site where you have to do anything with slabs. It provides really accurate calculations so that way your jobs can come in at more tight, cheaper, faster. So it's little tiny bit of input, not a whole lot required, and you get all of that extra information. So it'll help reduce your RFIs for the takeoff. You can get an accurate report really quick. You get your chemicals. We sort those by the VOCs. We know that's a big thing now, especially with the DOTs, making sure that you meet all the requirements they need. We give you slab dowel counts. I know a lot of times right now when folks go to order those, they just go, send me so many boxes or send me so many hundreds or of the slab dowels that I need. Then when they run out, they go order more. So now each time you're doing that, that's more freight cost. Your rebar chairs, you know what the thickness of your slab is, you know what your reinforcing is. So if that reinforcing sitting in the center, Tilt-Werks will automatically take care of figuring out what that size is based on the particular chair that you chose and give you how many of those you need and give you an accurate takeoff of all those different items right off the bat. So that way it saves time from ordering, a second, a third, or a fourth time. So just a quick screenshot of the Slab-Werks section. It's, as we mentioned earlier, built into Tilt-Werks. So you just check an extra item there to say, hey, I want to get some extra slab accessories. And you enter the bare minimum of information. What's your slab area? You already have that on your structural or architectural drawings. What's my length and width? Again, information you have on the drawings. Same thing with the joist spacing. What's my thickness? What's your coverage area for your slab chairs or your bolsters? The engineer will usually put that in the notes on their drawing. And then from there, we filter the items down based on what you want, whether it's a single mat of steel or double mat, what class of the chair. Then we list all our Dayton products. You can select the one you're going to use. You select the bar size that's being used for the reinforcing for the slab, and then it will use that to determine your chair height. And then you have these additional products over here. Select your composition, your VOC, and then it'll narrow it down to what Dayton Superior offers. Once you have all of that in there, you can generate a materials list. If the job was done and you're just doing an estimate, you pick estimate, you select your entire job if you did the panels and Tilt-Werks, and it will give you information for that as well. And you get a materials list that lists all those accessories with product codes, so you can just send it right over and get a price right away without having to, dig through catalogs and try to look things up. And it does a lot of the determination for you, like the plate dowels. It knows to check the particular thickness of the slab and give you the right thickness plate dowel with the right sleeve. Same thing with the grout and all the other options. It takes into account that little bit of input and builds off of that to get you what you need for your bill of materials. So now I'm going to bring up Tilt-Werks. I will share my screen. And you should be seeing the front entry screen of Tilt-Werks. When someone comes in, okay, great. When someone comes into Tilt-Werks, they'll see this screen the minute they start a new project. Now, like I mentioned earlier, since everyone can interact with Tilt-Werks, if you have an architect or an engineer or someone that already has a Revit model of their tilt-up project, you could skip a lot of this and just import this information directly from Revit into Tilt-Werks. And all of the information you're seeing here, this is a typical box warehouse distribution building. You're seeing all the different walls that's in the building. All of this could be imported from the Revit model, and it saves you the time of inputting that. Now, I won't go too much into the how do you do the input, not that critical, but it's text-based. It's like punching things into an Excel spreadsheet, for lack of a better analogy, but it will build a model as you're punching it in. But if you have that Revit model, it saves you the trouble of doing any of this, and you can come straight over to what we're here to see, which is the estimates. So you'll go under your manufacturer parts, and that's where you see all the Dayton Superior parts. Now, up above here, you'll see our typical parts, our lift inserts, our brace inserts, our braces. You have the option to select the wind speed, the braces that you have in stock, your chemicals, if you were just looking at the regular slab or the regular panel. But for Slab-Werks, you'll select this option here for provide slab accessories, and then you'll get an entirely new section down here where you punch in the information you need for your slab. Now, you can see you only have to enter 7 little items here to get all the information you need for your slab. The area of the slab, length and width, the joint spacings, your slab thickness, and the coverage area for your bar chairs. From there, you pick your different options here. So whether it's a single mat or a double mat, the different classes, and then that will narrow it down to the different items that you have in here that are provided by Dayton Superior, the different types of chairs. From there, you pick your rebar size, and then come down here and pick your different compositions for your chemicals. We have cure and seal in there that covers obviously your entire slab plus your panels. Bond breaker covers your panel area, your evaporation retardant, densifier, joint sealant, your grout. And then other items that you don't see here are just taken into account automatically internally. You have a slab, you're probably going to need to use some slab dowels. Since we know what your thickness is, we can determine which one of our slab dowels you can use. With your slab joints, you may need to cover those joints without using grout or without using joint sealant. We have our T-strip, it'll take that into account as well. So once you punch that information in, you can then come up here to the Dayton materials list, select your entire project, select estimated. The actual is if the lifting and bracing was actually done by Dayton Superior in-house, and then you generate a report. So there's that estimated report. And like I mentioned earlier, it gives all your information here. So it counts up your number of panels, gives you your net and gross area, your slab area that you entered, then a breakdown of everything you're going to need from Dayton Superior. Lift inserts, brace inserts, any reveals, form brackets. But slabs are where we're focusing right now. And you can see here, it gave me my cure and seal. And at the end there, it actually tells you what size you're getting. So it's telling you, hey, you have your 55-gallon drums of cure and seal, 55-gallon drums of the Sherlift with dye, the concentrate, how many of those you're going to need, Pentra Hard, ProFlex, Sure Grip. and it gives you the sizes of those, but it also gives you the product code. So even though it lists the size, it lists the product code. So once we put that in on our end, you'll get the exact thing that's required. I mentioned the T-strip. It tells you how many 8-foot strips of those you need, your plate valves, and then right here, it figured out which chair you needed based on the thickness and the bar size. So I can now take this report, print it off. You can save it as a PDF. You can save it as a text file, an Excel sheet. I can print this off, hand this to my salesperson, and they can take it from there and get me an accurate quote. Now, if I need to make any changes to any of these, I can come in and change those at any time. And it's just that simple. You don't have to spend a lot of time trying to dig through catalogs. You don't have to spend a lot of time digging through spreadsheets and trying to figure out those what ifs and little equations to get to what you need. We've taken care of a lot of that for you with just a minor bit of input. I will go back, stop presenting. Oh, and Heidi, if you can bring your screen back up.
Working on it. I'm having the same issue
right.
you did before. Here we go.
Yeah. All right. I know you have it. There you go.
There we are.
All right. So accessing Slab-Werks outputs. If you have Tilt-Werks, I just showed you how to get Slab-Werks, whether you're unlimited, project-based, or even if you're on a trial, you can access Slab-Werks. No matter what you're on, you can get into Tilt-Werks and get Slab-Werks and get the information out that you need. Heidi, I think you may still have control. There we go. If you don't have Tilt-Werks and you want it, you have options to come in, do a free trial, to purchase a full subscription. You can contact your sales representative for any more details on that. And then if you want to get to our estimation department, the email's up there. You can contact us at tiltupestimate at Dayton Superior. Internally, we can do estimates for you. We actually do have an estimation department. The estimation that we do is completed inside of Tilt-Werks. It's provided for a nominal fee, but it will be as accurate as you can get it and as close to final as actually having your job sent in for lifting and bracing, which even when we do a lift and brace job, we actually include the Slab-Werks output for free, in addition to all the other reports that we add into our lift and brace handbooks. So our engineers will go through, look at your structural drawings if they have them, and go through and give you our most popular products. But if you have some of those in particular that you want to use, you can just send us an email when we do our pre-engineering call with you, and then get that information over to our engineers, and they'll go ahead and incorporate that into your design.
Fantastic, Shane. Thanks for going through all that with us. So one of the things I didn't mention in the beginning is, you know, you guys, we're going to open it up for question and answers. So we'll go ahead and do that while I'm going through these resource slides for you. If you have a question right now, please feel free to use the chat functionality in your Zoom, and we can look at those and get them answered for you. Shane did a wonderful job of showing us in the beginning what all it offers. We wanted to show you Tilt-Werks because it's exciting, but that is just the icing, well, just a little bit of the icing. I'm not sure what I'm trying to say here. The point is that we have the ability to give you more training, or if you want to talk to Shane about actual Tilt-Werks with Slab-Werks that you learned about today, we can provide that with you as well. So right now, I had mentioned earlier that, you know, training purposes only in the beginning, that we had technical information. Well, guess what we do? We've got not only an estimating tool that you saw where it resided, but we have the Tilt-Werks page that you can sign up for a free trial and Tilt-Werks training, like I just mentioned. In addition, we have those product pages with the tech and safety sheets that I was referring to. We have brochures listed on many of them. So basically, if you want to know about our product, just search on that, or we have different ways within the website that you can get to it. And on the left-hand side there that you see It has the ability for the safety, the tech data sheets, handbooks are listed in there. So sometimes, you know, with chemical, you always have the safety data sheet. But if this were a chemical, or excuse me, an accessory, you would have something like this T28. It would have all of that. It would have brochures. It would tell you about the product. And sometimes you can add it to your cart. Okay, so resources. Who the heck do you contact in case you need and want to get this? Well, I've showed you the ability to get to the Tilt-Werks page, and you can sign up for a free trial. But in addition, we have a full-fledged customer service technical assistance sheet here. We also have one for international. There's a regional map that you see. One is for Dayton Superior and one's for Simon. So you probably click on your Dayton Superior one this time and find out, based on where you live, who your exact sales representative would be. Tilt-Werks estimation email, tiltupestimate@daytonsuperior.com. We referred to that just a minute ago on 2 slides. That's in case you don't want to take advantage of the Slab-Werks, that they can do it for you. You would just email that email address. Tilt-Werks, we have the 800 number there, as well as info@tiltwerks.com. So I referenced the Tilt-Werks page. All of that, if you noticed, it all goes full circle, right? So we try to get you what you need with the information that you need at where you need it. You can call the Tilt-Werks number. You can contact your sales representative. You can contact me and Chuck at training@daytonsuperior.com. We will get you where you need to be if you just don't really know where to go. But if you need additional training, not only with Tilt-Werks or Tilt-Up or Precast, we can do any kinds of training for you. Just email us at training@daytonsuperior.com. We will get you in the right direction if it is for the Tilt-Werks, or we will set something up virtually or on site, customized. You just come and chat with us. You can scan the QR code that you see on the screen right now, and that will get you to a very quick form to let me know what you're interested in, and we can talk from there. In addition, I mentioned that we did training Tuesdays every week, and we record those. Right now, I think this is the 69th one, so we've got quite a few of them out there, and it's really exciting if you don't know things about other topics. Maybe you're a tilt-up guy, you want to see some, I don't know, accessories, bar supports. You know, you're learning, you're new with the dealer, and you're trying to figure out the bar support concept. We've got it out there for you. Again, this training site here, if that doesn't do it for you and it's too general, contact us and we'll help you out. But it is a good resource out there to let you know. So I don't see any questions, but please feel free to ask them right now. Is there anything that you have for Shane or myself? Okay, well, with that, it is 1:30. I appreciate you all coming in, and have a very happy Tuesday, and I hope to see you next week. Thanks, Shane, again. I appreciate you coming in and talking to us about it.
All right, thanks, Heidi, and glad to do it.
Until then. Fantastic. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
And thank you, Karen.